Episode 7. We spent 6 episodes dismantling every thought you thought you protected you. Your certainty, your independence, your carefully constructed reasons for staying exactly as you are. And if you're still here, something in you knows we're approaching the edge. Because here's what nobody wants to say out loud. The universe is screaming at you in a language you spent your entire life refusing to learn. Bob Dylan sang, "You're gonna have to serve somebody." He understood what terrifies modern people more than death itself, the possibility that you're not the center of your own story. Let's talk about what you already know but won't admit. You are impossibly here. The mathematical probability of your existence, not life in general, but you, conscious, aware, asking questions that serve no evolutionary purposes beyond calculation. We're not talking unlikely, we're talking statistically impossible. Every materialistic explanation requires more faith than any religious text ever demanded. Your consciousness can't be explained by neurons. Your capacity for sacrificial love can't be reduced to genetics. Your hunger for meaning that transcends survival can't be dismissed as evolutionary accident. These aren't dips in knowledge, they're signposts you're refusing to read. I know what you're doing right now. You're building your defense, finding the flaw in the logic, preparing your counter argument, because engaging with what I'm actually saying would require something you've protected against your entire life. Surrender. Here's the phrase that should haunt you. You can't reason your way into a reality that requires a relationship to understand. This is why all your research hasn't satisfied you, why all your arguments haven't brought peace, why you can read every book, watch every debate, construct every philosophical framework, and still feel the emptiness at 3 o'clock in the morning when no one's watching. You're trying to download an experience that can only be lived. 6 episodes ago, I told you about free will, starting with a headache. That tiny moment of consciousness recognizing itself. Now I'm telling you, something that will either change everything or send you running. That moment of recognition, that wasn't random firing of neurons. That was something recognizing you first. The love that costs everything we discussed in episode 3. The grace that broke through my guilt over Cindy. The truth that terrifies you more than non-existence. It has a source. And that source has been pursuing you from every philosophical question you've ever asked, every moment that made you weep for reasons you couldn't explain, every act of sacrificial love that defied your materialist explanation. The evidence isn't insufficient. Your willingness to see it is. I can show you the mathematics. I can walk you through the philosophy. I can demonstrate how consciousness can come through unconscious matter. It requires more miracles than any resurrection story, but I can't make you open your eyes. Because here's what I've discovered, and what every honest seeker through history has discovered. The question changes when you realize you're not the one asking it. You think you're searching for truth. What if truth has been searching for you? What if every existential question you've ever asked was actually a response to something calling your name? What if the reason you can't explain consciousness is because consciousness was given, not evolved? What if the reason love transcends biology is because love is the fundamental fabric of reality, not a survival mechanism? What if you're not a cosmic accident, but a deliberate creation by something that embedded its own signature so deep in your DNA that you actually can't escape the longing? You're not lost. You're hiding. The atheist says there's no evidence. The agnostic says there's not enough certainty. The intellectual says it's not rational. But here's the phrase that should shatter every defense. The absence of proof becomes the proof when you are determined not to see. So here's your choice. And it's the only choice that's ever mattered. You can keep demanding that truth meet you on your terms, in your time frame, with your preferred evidence. You can keep protecting your intellectual sovereignty. Whilst the universe burns and children die, you stay safely analyzed. Or you can do what every transformed life has got. Stop demanding answers and start risking encounter. Because the answer you're not ready for isn't information. It's invitation. And what happens when you accept that invitation? That's what we'll discover next week. If you dare.